Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Four Towers Films.
Doug 218. How you guys doing? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, surviving this whole pandemic thing.
Hopefully you
You
are
are as
too.
well.
And we are glad you are here joining us for another recap of Survivor Winners at War, episode number 9. And it is season 40.
Can you believe we've hit 9 episodes already?
Yeah, it seems to be going fast. Maybe because a lot of the other shows are actually not on right now or are doing like their finales kind of thing. So that could be why.
What do you think? Let's just jump right in and let's get this going.
Well, because we missed last week, so Wendell got voted out almost unanimously, too.
And he looked upset.
Well, I think he was kind of blindsided by it, as were Nick and Michelle, because they were expecting I forget who it was now, that they thought would get voted out, but yeah, that didn't happen.
So when we joined the episode, this episode, it's like Nick and Michelle are talking, and then they're both kind of like really upset about this whole thing, and Michelle just kind of lays it on him like, my man, they were tossing your name around too.
Yeah.
Just thought you should know.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, I'm sick and tired of everyone throwing my name around, not taking me serious.
Right.
Enough. Okay. Yeah, that would have made more sense coming from Rob or Sandra, because then you would take them more serious. Like, it doesn't. I can't take this guy serious. Sorry. Yeah, you may have won.
Well, they've all won, though.
But
I don't. You know what? To be honest, I don't even really remember when he won. I mean, I guess he didn't really leave a big impression. Do you guys remember when he won? But like,
I don't.
I've watched from the beginning, and I don't remember when he won. I remember some of the others, yes and no. But I don't remember how he won even. But anyway.
Okay, what also was funny was Adam and Michelle got talking, and now Adam is the most sketchiest, nervous guy I have seen.
Yeah, not much has changed from his
season.
No,
but he seems to now, because they're all winners.
Yeah.
He seems like the little fish in the big pond. Now he's got to try and prove that he can hang with the big boys and girls. And somehow he gets it in his head that there is an immunity idol at the tribal council. And he's telling Michelle that.
Yeah.
And thinking that
he thinks it's on the podium.
That it matches the idol that Denise found earlier in the game.
Which like a fleur-de-lis kind of shape.
This boy.
That's never happened.
No. So as that goes on, we jump over to Edge of Extinction. And they get a clue of something's hidden on the top of the mountain. You get a feeling everything's going to be hidden on the top of this mountain. So they broke off into pairs. Okay. Natalie took it upon herself to kind of make sure Wendell didn't get the advantage because he's the freshest coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been
got there.
He hasn't been as malnourished as the rest of them.
And Natalie's been there the
longest. And Danny had this idea. The clue referred to something from the last season of Extinction, and it led her and Parvati to the advantage, which was the 50-50 coin that they sold to Michelle
for 4 fire
tokens. So in the hopes they'd get to buy some peanut butter.
Kind of like Tyson did.
Tyson had the PB. Now the girls want the PB. I think that might be something we'll see later on down the road. They also told Natalie, Rob, and Amber and Ethan about it, wanting to share in the peanut butter too. So that it's like us old schoolers, and we're going to share in the PB, and we're going to keep this young
new bunch coming in because now they're basically all new school that will be coming in.
So after this went on, we jumped over to the reward challenge. And what they were playing for reward was...
Take out Chinese food.
Okay, so it broke down into 2 teams. Red and blue. So the red team was Tyson, Tony, Adam, Jeremy, and Nick. Blue team was Sarah, Kim, Ben, Sophie, and Michelle. Denise was not chosen, so she was forced to sit out. Now, basically, this thing was, it was like, you had to, swim out?
Yeah.
So, and you had to go out, get the puzzles, come back in, and it was a fishing net with wooden fish attached to it.
Right. They've done something similar before.
This show has recycled a lot of these challenges.
Most of the challenges are recycled. So.
And so they had to carry these fish in, everybody, then untie them, hang them, then whoever they chose as the puzzle
had to put them together. They fit specific ways, and there's only one way the fish fit together. So which was the blue got an early lead out of the water and in the phase to the beach, getting it to the beach, and transition to the puzzle pieces. Their solvers were Sophie and Michelle, but red wasn't, as we saw, red wasn't too far behind, and Jeremy and Nick worked on catching up. It looked like red was close to finishing, but something happened. They started to doubt themselves, and so it was the red team more or less kind of took it apart.
Took it all apart.
They seem to do that a lot.
Yeah. And so Sophie and Michelle managed to pull through, and
they won.
They won. So this is where it got a little weird.
Well, because then Sarah decided, she asked Jeff if she could give up her part of the reward to somebody else on the other team. And they're like, oh, if you want, so she decided to give it to Nick, of all people, because I think they said it was his birthday.
It was his birthday the day before.
So she wanted to kind of, it's like a birthday gift in a way. So.
and it's like, okay, Adam questions, like, what's her motive?
Everyone questioned it.
So.
Including Nick.
And
everybody thought it was game move. And when she actually was talking to the camera, she was basically saying, no, it was just
a human move.
Act of kindness because it was his birthday.
Yeah.
And she wanted to give him a reward for that to celebrate his birthday. But everybody else basically thought it was a game move.
Especially Tony. Tony pulled her aside and it almost sounded like he was scolding her. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, and I guess she didn't think it that way.
Yeah.
Because she didn't mean it that way. But he basically was saying that's how everybody else is going to see this, is that it's a game move, and that it actually could put a bigger target on your back by doing that. So, I guess it did to a point, because they showed everybody talking about it, and everybody thought it was a game move, and actually wasn't.
and So the group that was at the reward was concerned about finding clues to advantages.
Well, because they're even looking at underneath
everything,
the Chinese take-up boxes and stuff. They've hidden clues like that before, but they didn't seem to find any. So and they talked to Nick too, and he goes, he's appreciative of the fact that Sarah did this, but he doesn't trust her any more than he did before.
Yeah. So They all open up their fortune cookies. They're thinking
they're opening them all
everything.
Up to see if they find. They didn't find anything.
So Michelle, they all head back to camp, and she's like, "I noticed there's something in my bag. It's the 50-50 coin."
But she wasn't sure she wanted to keep it and give up 4. She has 4 fire tokens, but she didn't know she wanted to do that. So we don't really know if she did it or not, because it was left kind of ambiguous.
Yeah. All we know is that it can be used up until the final 7
or 6. Final 7.
But we weren't, like Four Towers Film said, we weren't really. It was left
ambiguous whether she actually took it or not.
Okay, so
I assume so. I don't know. We'll see if the ones on Edge of Extinction have their peanut butter. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm sorry, if I get an advantage, I'm going to take every advantage I can get.
Well, because the advantage is she could either be safe or not safe.
Yeah.
So
it's a roll of the dice.
Why not? If it's 50-50 chance. I mean, right now, you're kind of on the bottom here because you are tied up with Wendell and Nick. And, you're not quite in with the others. So why not use it?
So we go from there to Community.
Yep.
And it's another recycled classic. They've got the triangle platform out in the water.
Or they have to balance on it.
So
like they have slats up on the triangle thing, like really, where your toes can fit on it, and they have to balance on that in the water, and then they move up after like 5 minutes or so, and then the next one's like 10 minutes, and then till they're on the top part of it.
And whoever last person
gets immunity
and a fire token.
Oh yes, and the fire token.
And so, in the first 5 minutes, Michelle drops. And so that
they seem to drop pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, of course, like the first 5 minutes was just, I think, Michelle, and everybody else lasted 5 minutes. And then I think when it hit the 10 minute, quite a few of them dropped at that point.
Because the thing is,
it's kind of choppy.
It was choppy, and it's a heck of a learning curve to try and figure out how to balance yourself.
Well, plus there's not a lot of space, so if you got a bigger foot, you don't actually have a lot of room to balance on. So
like a big dude like me.
I think it would be harder.
Yeah. So like you said, the second stage was the last 10 minutes. Barely seconds into the second stage, the dude that fought his way to get back in,
Tyson. Well,
he was the first to drop.
But he was one of the taller guys left in the game too, so he probably has a bigger foot, as we were saying.
And right behind him went Jeremy and Tony. So Sophie, Sarah...
Jeremy's also tall,
So Sophie, Sarah, Kim, Nick, Adam, and Ben all went to the final stage.
The tallest one would be Kim left.
So that's the top platform. Adam couldn't, for the life of him, couldn't get up there. Couldn't even balance himself till he dumped.
Yeah. Some of them look like they fell kind of hard, but I guess they were all right because nobody asked them if they're okay.
So Sophie...
It actually ended up coming down to Kim and
Ben. And Ben lost his balance.
Yeah, because they were doing both pretty well.
And for a big dude.
Because he's fairly tall. Kim's the tallest girl, I think, left. So they were both actually doing pretty well. And then, it seemed out of nowhere, Ben just kind of lost his footing and tumbled over. So
would you agree? It looked almost cartoonish because the arms are like.
Look, he actually kind of fell backwards. He's like, whoa. So it ended up being Kim winning immunity.
And she got her fire token.
So
it seemed
Kim.
Like to Kim, it seemed like the vote seemed like an easy vote. Split the vote. Nick and Adam.
Right. Just remember the two kind of on the bottom here.
With Nick being her preference to go.
And I think it was Nick. Was it Nick? Or was Adam who brought up maybe voting for Sarah instead?
Yeah.
Because, she's got ties. Like she's got Tony, she's got a couple other ties here, and she's got ties on Edge of Extinction, that kind of thing. And it got back to her that her name was coming out. So I think at first, I'm not really sure. So then I think Nick was maybe kind of who they're leaning to, but then Adam kind of came up more because of that. So then they started debating, should it be Nick, should it be Adam? And so it's funny because it seemed when Adam started to go around and Nick was going around about pitching Sarah, some people thought, it's a good idea because she's kind of well connected. And so then like Michelle and them, no, not Sarah. Kim, no, not Sarah. And so they're all like just all over the place, literally talking to each other about.
And like names were getting tossed left, right.
Well, mostly Sarah, Adam, and Nick, but yeah.
And it came down to like Ben confronting Adam,
right?
And Adam,
because I think he heard his name got thrown out.
And it was basically people were saying Ben and Sarah were too close, so Ben confronted Adam about it, and Adam just kind of hemmed and hawed and kind of, and Ben went, "Okay, fine."
Well, because he didn't answer the question directly. Yeah. He goes, "I'm hearing it's coming from you. Is that the case?" And Adam didn't really answer that. Yeah. He's kind of like, well, this, and that's not what I'm asking. I heard it come from you. Did you say it? And he still wouldn't say it. So Ben's like, okay, fine. And he walked away. And Adam's like, well, wait, let's talk about this. Because I just asked you a question and you won't answer it. So really, that is kind of an answer, really.
You gave me the truest answer.
Right. By not saying anything at all. So he walked away and he goes, I'm not going to stand here and kind of go back and forth really with you about this. So of course now Adam knows, okay, now you're in trouble. So then we had to tribal council, and
all hell broke loose.
Well, because even as Jeff's asking questions, you start seeing whispering. Everybody's whispering to each other. The one's getting over here and one's going over here, and Josh is watching. And then I think Nick and Adam really knew. Like, Nick's like, oh, I feel good. I feel pretty good about right now. And so Adam's like basically saying, well, if he feels good, because he knows it's Nick and Adam's name's been thrown out a lot. He goes, now I feel even less good about this,
And Ben and him get into this, like, brouhaha. And
about that conversation we had earlier.
Yeah. And, like, the old schoolers are sitting off to the side. They're killing themselves laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just, okay, enough's enough. It's time to vote.
That went on almost the whole tribal council. The whole back and forth and whispering, and it like I don't even think Jeff got in that many questions.
Jeff had
before they were just all whispering and talking amongst each other.
I think that's the closest I've ever seen Probst have that gobsmacked look. Like it used just kind of it was that pink, like that pinball like look, like watching all the back and forth. And so it's like time to vote.
Yep.
And they go off.
Oh, yeah. So they come back with the votes, and of course, they say anybody has an immunity idol. Now's the time to play it. What's Adam do? He gets up, walks to the podium, and that little fleur-de-lis that's on the podium is trying to take it off, and everybody's watching him. Like, what are you doing? And even Jeff's looking at him, and it doesn't come off. He sits down. And so he asked Jeff, is that something? Can you play it? He goes, so are you asking if that's an immunity? Can you play that? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I want to play that. And so he goes, no, that's not a hidden immunity idol. And he's basically like saying, when has that ever been? They've never had a hidden immunity idol at tribal council. Why would they start in plain view of everybody?
And so the votes came down. It went Sarah, Adam, Nick were the first 3 votes. Then it went Adam, Nick, and just Adam. And he's like, he knew he had messed up his game in a big.
Obviously it was Adam. He got voted out, but the thing is how he played it. He didn't really change a lot of how he played it from the first time he played it, from Millennials versus Gen X. And when everybody's new kind of thing. So now you're playing with all winners, and a lot of these are how they won was very strategic, like Tony and, Sarah. Like, you're playing with really good players here. So, and he didn't really alter how he played it. So you can't play it the same way with winners, because they all are looking for the cracks or the same kind of techniques, I guess, that other ones are using. You can't do it. You have to alter how you're doing it with people who played the game before and won it. So, and he didn't really do a lot. Like I guess he became a little too cocky too in how he played it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that was his downfall.
I agree with that. He seemed to think he was very secure in his position.
Until he wasn't.
Until he wasn't. And then when he saw it blow up in his face at Tribal. And as he was leaving, they do the whole, who are you going to bequeath your fire token to? Mm-hmm. And he gave it to Denise.
Which is interesting. Well, they were kind of close. I don't think she voted for him. I think she probably voted for Nick. But, so that was interesting that he gave it to Denise. And I guess they were kind of fairly close, though.
Well, I think, because he kind of said something along the lines of, you kind of told me that this was coming down the...
Yeah, she kind of warned him.
That
he wasn't as secure as he thought he was.
So I guess by kind of giving him the heads up, he respected that kind of thing. Mm. So we see him finally arrive at Extinction, and
well, I think because they're the jury. Remember, now they're in. Those that are on Extinction are able to come, so they knew what had happened. They basically. It showed them a couple times, so like, it's going to be Adam. Yeah. So, and that's exactly what it was.
So I wonder when because remember they said there'd be one more chance for a member to come from Extinction to come back in. I wonder if that's going to come up in the next little while, or are they just going to kind of go?
Well, what I remember from when it was this episode Edge of Extinction, when that was what it was. It was a few episodes after. Yeah. Like, they did the same way last time. They did the first, earned their way back in, and then they might have done it once or twice more, but that was the whole premise of that one. Now it's about winners. So, I would say it was usually 1 or 2 episodes later, because they're bringing more in.
Yeah.
And then there was, the one more shot. So I would assume maybe 1 or 2 more episodes.
So we'll have to...
Maybe before they get one more chance to get back in. So we'll see. I think just going by previous season that did this. So we'll see, though.
It was quite the episode.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
There was drama. There was chaos. There was paranoia.
No. Winners.
And Chinese takeout.
And Chinese takeout. And a nice humanitarian act of kindness that Sarah did by giving up her reward, which was actually misconstrued as gameplay. So, but anyway, you can't do that with winners if they're going to assume you're doing it as gameplay. But anyway.
Sorry, I'm gonna be honest. Chinese food, or if I haven't eaten a lot, you think I'm gonna give it up?
Well, most of them didn't. So.
No way.
But I guess she was just thinking, she was being nice because it was his birthday. So now she seems like a nice person. Anyway, we hope you like the show. She does. What's up?
She is a nice person.
Yeah. Hope you liked the show. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we upload every time Survivor airs. Check out the other videos. We do other reality shows as well whenever they return after this whole pandemic thing. Hope you guys are staying safe and well, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys. Stay safe.